I'm Bobby the Brain Heenan.
And I'm the host.
You're not the host, I'm the host.
Well, I'm you, so I'm the host.
Could never be me. Well, I'm the host.
Welcome to the host position.
Well, I always am in the host position.
You know, I found out over the weekend, Bobby, that you do, in fact, on very, very minute occasions, tell the truth. I got in touch with Karen Weiss from LJN Toys, and I do, in fact, have one of your dolls.
Aha.
You couldn't deliver it, but...
Well, they were sold out.
Well,
they're going like hotcakes. You know that, and I know that.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
You got one.
Bobby the Brain Heenan doll.
Did you buy it or lift it?
No, it was sent to me by LJN Toys, and
before we get into the doll, what's with the hat?
Well, I figure, you know, me being you, I could be very leisure this week on Prime Time, and I don't have to worry about all the cues and the floor men that you fired and all that other stuff. But this is, in fact, your doll.
Boy, that sure looks like me. It's a spitting image of... What the heck's with this tail on this thing here?
That's the original prototype. Weasel tail.
Now, wait a minute. Kids are going to be buying this stuff, and they're going to be sticking tails on it and shaking my face at the matches.
Well, that's...
Well, don't try to insult me right at the beginning of the program. I have a whole program here to run.
You're the host.
Yes, I'm the host, and I want to do it properly. I want to show the people, because this is my opportunity to be the... to handle things from this side of the thing. Give me that back. I'm going to get this tail off.
It's very appropriate that we have this particular doll.
I've got to introduce matches here now.
Why don't you?
I'm trying to. Special Delivery Jones is our first match.
Where's this match? Where are these matches?
It's from the Summit in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And his opponent is Brutus Beefcake.
Do you know that we're joining this match in progress?
Of course I know that.
Oh, okay.
Now, could somebody get me a pair of pliers here?
Go to the match, then.
You go to the match. I'm going to this tail.
No question about that. SD with a weight advantage backs him right up into the corner. See a clean break? No. Got caught right on the ear by that overhand right. And once he gets the upper hand, he is relentless. SD is on the receiving end right now. He doesn't get to his feet. He'd either do nothing. Oh, look at that shot. I think he almost excused his disqualification. Right to the esophagus, deliberate.
No question about it, up to the referee's discretion.
Now it's just a blatant chokehold right in front of the referee. It's only a 5 count there. He got up to 4.
Well, much like a trial lawyer, he may say something that his opponent objects to, but nonetheless, whether it's upheld or sustained, the jury remembers the comment. Just like here,
Absolutely.
You may break on the count of 4, but the damage has been done.
Oh, sure.
Really, going back to your earlier comment, as I look at Brutus Beefcake in the ring, I can't help but wonder what you would have looked like in pink tights.
Oh, no thank you. At 440 in pink tights, I think I would have been quite a sight to behold. Look at this power by Brutus Beefcake. As SD has got to be 300 or better. What they announced him as.
He is. As big as
Got
I've
those
ever
hands
seen.
underneath him. No way you're going to pin him like that. They might have announced him at 275 or something. He's close to that 300-pound mark.
You know, sometimes, Gorilla, we tend not to talk about it, but it was a good shot there. Even though he comes in pink tights, Brutus Beefcake is an excellent physical specimen in very good shape.
Absolutely true. Spends a lot of time working on that body. Spends a lot of time with gymnasium. Walked right into that left hand. Oh, headbutt. Right in the kisser. SD's forte. Now it's turned into a fisticuffs match, and SD would win that.
Toe-to-toe.
Toe-to-toe, but Brudai on the receiving end. Big roundhouse. SD is a southpaw. Look out. Irish whip into the corner. Here he comes. Too late. He telegraphed that from quite a ways away, Ken. I could have got out of the way of that one. You probably could have, too.
I think I may well have been able to, Gil. I think SD thought he may have had Brutus Beefcake a little more shaken than he actually is at this moment.
Maybe so. Well, there's a mistake. Didn't do his homework. Nice, effective move, but with a guy with a head like SD's, it's not going to have what you want.
You know, here's a prime example that sometimes, Gorilla, I think Brutus Beefcake's ego, maybe it's his own worst enemy in the ring. Instead of following up when he had SD down in Iverson Weekend, he opted to argue with referee Dave Hebner.
Well, sometimes he can't help it. I mean, his ego is just so big that he can't do anything about it. It just overpowers everything else. He wants timeout now. There is no timeout in the world of professional wrestling. I'm sorry. Brutus trying to protect everything at one time, but SD found a way. Oh, had to catch some of that on the fingers. SD now a little bit slow in following up himself, Ken. looks like this whole match is in slow motion. Really? Both wrestlers looking very lethargic. There's a headbutt. Excedrin headache number 5 right there. SD off, ducks underneath the big right hand. Look out, there's that knee. Brutus got that down to a pad, hooks the leg. Good night.
I'll tell you, you talk about going from slow motion to fast motion in a big, big hurry. Brutus Beefcake may have been playing a little possum, Gorilla.
Well, one mistake on the part of Special Delivery Jones, and Brutus Beefcake did a number on him and put him away.
The winner, Brutus Beefcake.
Brutus Beefcake with his hand waved in a token of victory here in the Summit, here in Houston. Let's go back and take a look at what SD did. And look at this. Brutus with that high knee catches him right in the kisser. SD was coming full speed ahead, hooks the leg just for good measure. There's no kicking out of that one.
Well, turn out the lights. The party was over very quickly and very suddenly for SD Special Delivery Jones.
Brutus Beefcake very happy with his victory here in the Summit. We'll be back.
Now, huh?
Huh. Looked like
Yeah.
a racehorse, didn't he?
Certainly did look good.
What am I
Now,
talking about?
You were talking about Brutus Beefcake. I know who you're talking
Boy,
about.
he's really
What is
slimmed
this, a
down.
quiz?
And no, but I just
This
want to make
is how
sure.
the doll is going to look. This is how the doll should look. Detailed, no tail. It's a human being. I mean, it's a replica of me who's a human being, not a weasel.
I thought it looked better with a tail on it, really, myself. I really did.
Well, it doesn't look better. This is how good it looks.
You know, you promised last week you'd come out here. You promised to deliver a doll. I delivered that for you. You also promised to deliver a guest, and
Oh, there'll be a guest here.
there will.
I have a guest all set up.
When will he be here?
Much, much later in the program.
Oh, okay. But we are going to see something.
I guarantee it.
Oh.
There's no refunds at this store, pal.
It'd be the first time you ever did something. We go ahead and do your thing because I'm going to try to get Miss Betty.
Don't you call Miss Betty.
Why not?
Because she's happens to work for me. She's my secretary.
Yeah, but I'm you this week.
Excuse
right?
me. Let's go and see where the World Wrestling Federation is going to be wrestling. Oh, what's this mean? Now you got another hat.
Oh, I've got a lot of hats. Before the program is over this week, you're going to see a whole lot of hats.
The top of your head tender under these lights?
No, but I just when I relax, I like to wear hats when I'm relaxing.
Well, let's return back to the summit.
Who are we going to
them-
see?
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Great. Opposition?
Cheap Gatorade, or Gator Wolf.
Steve.
Steve Gatorade.
The partner
Gator
of
Wolf.
Chief J. Strongbow.
Let's
Let's go to the ring.
He has a partner.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing on my left from Oklahoma, weighing 266 pounds, Steve Gatorwolf. And on my right from Seattle, Washington, weighing 253 pounds, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Greg the Hammer Valentine against Steve Gatorwolf here in the Summit in Houston, Texas. Gorilla Monsoon along with Ken Resnick at ringside. And look at the ring robe of the Hammer.
A very unusual position for Greg Valentine. Most times, Gorilla, he has either Brutus Beefcake in his corner or luscious Johnny V, and at this moment, neither his tag team partner or his manager anywhere to be found.
Well, obviously, the Hammer feels very confident about this match, man. He would be looking for some outside help. Gatorwolf, many times teaming up with Chief J. Strongbow, both from Oklahoma, I believe both from Pawhuska, for that matter. Gatorwolf looks good since the last time I've seen him here in the World Wrestling Federation. It's been a year or two since he's made an appearance. Don't know where he's been or if he's been making Indian jewelry on his side or what he's been doing, Ken, but I really don't know. But he certainly looks in great shape, I'll give him that.
He does indeed, and of course, as you mentioned, his former partner, somewhat of a legend in the World Wrestling Federation,
yes.
Chief J. Strongbow, and what a great wrestler he was indeed.
Incomparable Chief J. Strongbow. And there's the man in the ring right now who literally put the casket to Chief J. Strongbow, sealed the casket on his career by literally tearing his knee to pieces with that dreaded figure 4 leg lock.
And I've talked to him so many times, and he has absolutely no remorse about that incident whatsoever. In fact, proud of it.
I remember that incident very well. In fact, I went with Chief J into the hospital in the ambulance, and Went over, was there when the doctors were sticking the needles in his legs, trying to find out where the feeling was and where it wasn't. And Valentine is the Hammer can do it all inside that squared circle. Former Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, former co-holder of the World Tag Team title with Brutus Beefcake, and they're still looking for the British Bulldog.
They're still claiming the title was stolen away from them.
Well, it wasn't. WrestleMania 2, Chicago, Rosemont Horizon. I was right there, Kenny. Look, 1, 2, 3, right in the middle of the ring. Couldn't have been right. Hammer won't get him. As Gator will kicks out. Nice arm wringer here by the Hammer.
You know, Gorilla, let me ask you this. Do you think possibly the fact that Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake are spending so much time claiming the title was stolen from them instead of, in fact, coming to grips with reality that that particular night they were beaten and trying to find a weakness in the British Bulldogs and regain it back, maybe what's keeping them from regaining it?
It's possible, Ken. I think that the humiliation involved was just more than they could cope with because it was WrestleMania and because it was such a tremendous, millions and millions of viewers saw that go down. You know, if you come to a small arena somewhere in Allentown, Pennsylvania, for example, or Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and you lose a match, really, nobody really cares. But when you're in WrestleMania and millions of people see that go down, it's kind of humiliating.
Yes, it's one of those things where the whole country sees it all at one time. Once in a while, it can sometimes results like that may get lost in the sports section. It may take fans a few weeks to find it out, but that particular night, the whole world knew it at the moment.
The war dance going on. Gator will trying to mount some kind of offense, and if he doesn't, the Hammer will put him away in a hurry. Well, he's not following up. Obviously, that left arm is really causing him a lot of pain here because he couldn't follow up that move at all, and the Hammer right back on it again. Boy, he doesn't give you a break.
No, he doesn't.
Touch it, break.
Like his style or not, it's an excellent strategy. You get one man's part of his body weakened, and as much as Gator, of course, relies on that left arm, takes a lot away from his arsenal.
Valentine knows how to deal with every kind of individual inside that ring. Oh, he's about to deal with the referee. I don't know why Hebner's on his case. He hasn't done anything really illegal at this point yet. Oh, nice reverse knife edge. He's got him trapped in the corner. The referee might want him out in the center of the ring. I don't blame him for that. Oh, another one.
And those chops are legal.
Absolutely.
Right across the sternum, flat of the hand.
Snapmare takes Gator Wolf back out in the center where the Hammer figures he can really go to work on him without the referee getting on his case.
Well, a few short seconds, we'll be back at the conclusion of that match.
What's telling me for? Tell the folks out there, they're the ones that have to
They know, they can hear. In a couple seconds, we'll be back with the conclusion of the match you're watching. Is that simple enough? Well, I gotta do everything for you.
I love it.
I know.
The dreaded Nelson Swegler. Got to keep your eye on him all the time.
Tell me what to do all the time. I know what to do. Know exactly what to do.
We're going back
you
to the
sit
match. We got to conclude this.
Now, I mean, now we're going back to the match.
Absolutely. We're going back to
Valentine and Gatorade. Come on.
Gator Wolf.
Gator Wolf.
Well, there's an unusual wrist lock from a kneeling position. Outside wrist lock, incidentally, which the pain is tremendous in this. Just look at Gator Wolf's face.
The way he's got it, Bill, it's almost like a double wrist lock. He's got his own wrist grabbed as well to put added pressure on it, and he certainly has the leverage. Now, this could actually work its way into a submission hold if Gator Wolf is not able to get to his feet.
Absolutely so. That downward pressure and that pulling back at the same time. You're not made that way, Ken. You don't bend that way. You don't articulate that way. Gator Wolf's got to turn in to his right in order to come out of this. Valentine's going to give him a break here as he's turned it loose. Maybe he figures he can pin up with it right here. 1 count, 2 no, 2 only. I think Valentine's having a good time, Ken. And Gator Wolf suspended.
He seems to be toying with him a little bit.
There goes Gator Wolf, hard down to the concrete here in the Summit.
Has that happened, Gorilla? In your wrestling career, there have been nights when you felt confident that you could take your opponent just about any time you wanted to, and sometimes you try some extra things and just purposely dole out a little bit more punishment?
Absolutely not. I never did that in my career. That's probably why I had the record for the quickest and the longest matches in the history of wrestling. Oh, he's paying the price right now.
Although I wouldn't put that strategy past Greg the Hammer Valentine. I don't know if he is as benevolent as you would.
Absolutely not, no. But they don't pay by the minute out there, Ken.
That's right.
You know, you're always, everybody that steps through those ring ropes, especially here in the World Wrestling Federation, where the credentials have to be so great just to get in here, that they can stop you and put you in at any given time, like right now. Gator Wolf mounting some offense here with some chops. If Valentine was taking it easy, it might be too late. Backing him up. Chop after chop. Right between the eyes. Gator Wolf on the warpath.
He goes into that war dance, and you could just feel the adrenaline start to pump in his body.
The Oklahoman has got him reeling right now. Down for cover 2. No, referee had his hand on the way down, but Valentine got out of there.
Gator Wolf still in high gear.
Irish whip in, watch out. Oh, nice tomahawk chop. Right underneath the chin. A little slow to get over there and cover. Referee right there, but look at that Valentine. There's that ring experience.
That's the only thing that saved Greg the Hammer Valentine, Gorilla, was that he was close enough where he could get that leg over that bottom rope. Otherwise, I think it would have been a count of 3 because I don't think he had enough left at that moment to throw Gator Wolf off.
Well, he knows exactly where he is inside that square circle at any given time. He's a thinking man's wrestler. There's no, comes from a wrestling background, grew up in a wrestling family. Now he's breaking the momentum more here by just slipping in and breaking the count and getting out again.
Prime example.
That's ring smarts.
You bet. He gets another 8-9 seconds to regain this, and here he goes. Caught Gator Wolf napping.
Oh, excuse me. That'll make you lame for about a month. He caught one right between the eyes, but Gator Wolf can't put any weight on that left leg. Somehow he managed to get over there and get a few tomahawk chops in, and now it's a foot race that Valentine will definitely win. Gator Wolf hobbling around, he got caught coming in once again.
There's that ring-wise experience you talked about. He knew if he got in the ring first, he'd have the upper hand and the leverage.
Uh-oh, look out. We're going to see it, figure 4 leg lock. The same thing he ended Chief Jerry Strongbow's career with right here, right in the center of the ring. This one is history.
You see Gator Wolf trying to get to the ropes.
He got the ropes. Referee's going to make him break it. Can't believe it. From our vantage point, we couldn't see how close he was to the rope, but he did, in fact, grab a hold of that bottom rope. I don't know, maybe that might be his disadvantage, man.
I'm a little bit surprised, knowing the tremendous agony that he was in, that he had enough presence to even reach for the ring ropes instead of trying anything just to submit and get rid of the pain.
Yeah, that might have been a mistake because Valentine now is going to continue to go to work on him. Elbow, boy, he took a long time doing that, and Gator Wolf manages to get out of there, but he can't even get to his feet. He's trying. That left leg can't hold any weight at all. He gets a chop off, and another one, and a double chop, and Gator Wolf coming to life here as Valentine has had it all his way so far. Uh-oh, reversal. Hard into the corner. Whammo. Excuse me, there's some of your own medicine right there. Look out, suplex coming up. By the Hammer, gets him over nicely. Could be all over. 1, 2, goodbye. But it all stemmed from the figure 4 leg lock there. That was the beginning of the year.
I don't think there's any doubt about it whatsoever. Gator Wolf lucky to survive as long as he did on this one.
Valentine, very impressive. Let's get the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Greg the Hammer Valentine putting away Gator Wolf here in the Summit. Let's go back, if we can, just moments ago in our replay here. He had already set him up with that figure 4 leg lock, Ken, and just that little suplex there normally wouldn't beat anybody, but after he had done all that damage on Gator Wolf, not hard to understand why the youngster didn't kick out.
You're exactly right. That was the end of the match, but it didn't really tell the story.
Absolutely not. On to victory here in the Summit. That man right there, the Hammer.
Still devastating, isn't he?
Certainly is.
Well, you know, it's just a question of time in my book before he and Brutus Beefcake get another crack at the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship belts.
Well, let me ask you a question here.
Go ahead, ask.
What's with
You're the host.
Of course.
Oh, okay.
I guess I don't have to ask. I can just do it.
Do it.
What's with all the monkeys here and the chimpanzees?
Well, those are the prototypes for the gorilla doll. Just
For the gorilla monsoon doll?
Yeah.
They're going to come out with a doll of you?
I don't know.
Well, if you could stick a tail on my doll, guess where I'm going to put a banana? It's that simple.
Let me ask you, where's your guest?
My guest will be here.
When will he be here? Or she, whoever?
It's a he. He'll be here when I want him to be here, quite later on in the program.
I hope you realize that we're only an hour this week on Prime Time.
We're 2 hours.
No, we're one.
We've always been 2 hours.
We're only, I'm sorry, we're only
No
1
one
hour
informed me
week.
of this now.
We're only 1 hour this week, I'm sorry.
No, I gotta get Miss Betty out here.
Right, you're in deep trouble. We'll be back, wrestling fans, in just a moment while the host is busy.
Don't worry, I will pay you, Betty. Get him on the first bus here. I don't care. Take him in. Oh, if we have to put him in a cab, but get him here now. Yo.
It's time.
We're on the air now.
Well, you give me an hour show to do. You don't tell me nothing. They expect me to run the whole thing.
I love it.
Yeah, Moondog Rex, the Dynamite Kid, in action. Joined in progress from the summit in Houston. I've got things to do, Monsoon.
Well, let's go to the ring then.
I can't go to the ring. I have to handle this.
Go ahead, do whatever you want to do.
Betty, listen to me now.
Tried to pick him up, but couldn't quite get enough leverage to get underneath him. And the Moondog went right to work in the breadbasket.
Boy, as soon as he felt that suplex coming, he landed one right in the short ribs. He didn't want to go for that again.
Yeah, he felt it one time tonight. I imagine he said to himself, once is enough.
Action here in the World Wrestling Federation, coming to you direct from the summit here in Houston, Texas. Rapidly becoming one of the meccas of professional wrestling in the entire wrestling world. Place it in the same category as Madison Square Garden, Boston Garden,
Philadelphia Spectrum.
Sports
Arena, Los Angeles.
Nice block there, but no, retaliated with a big right hand. And another one. Oh, desperation moves. He reached into the tights for some additional leverage and literally slung Dynamite out to the concrete. He was about to come out after him, too, had the referee not stopped him.
And you said it exactly. No padding here at the summit. That is right down to the concrete.
Trying to get back in there, but the big Moondoggy says no.
No.
Salvation Army is tight.
Those boots would certainly use a polishing.
Disqualified here if he's not careful. That was right close to that 5-count mark. Baby boy trying to pull himself together. He might be, well, to take a little walk around the ring here. This guy is just waiting for him.
He came out on that concrete very hard and hasn't had much of a chance to do it
Power
anymore.
slam by the Moondog. Could be all over here. Big upset. No, Dynamite gets that left shoulder up right at the last second. Wow, was that close?
Count of 2.5 to say the least.
Now a bear hug. You can see the painful expression on the face of the Dynamite Kid as this guy can apply that with a lot of force.
Dynamite here now faced with two problems. One, trying to break this bear hug and endure the punishment, but to try and catch his breath, get those ribs expanded enough where he can catch a deep breath.
He's fighting this thing, but the Moondog's got it right in the center of the ring. You got to do whatever you can when the big guy's got this thing slapped on you. You use whatever is in your arsenal to get out. Trying to turn it into a headlock, and he does, and plants one right above the ramus of the mandible. And now the big guy unloads with another big forearm right across that thoracic area of the vertebrae. Uh-oh.
Now,
gonna ram him in the corner? No. Yes, he did.
well, Dynamite was able to break the bear hug, but so far has not been able to get any kind of offense going in the last 4 or 5 minutes, Gorilla. It's been all Moondog Rex.
Nice backbreaker, well executed by the big guy, but Dynamite had enough left to kick out.
Again, a count of 2.5 on the Dynamite Kid. This would be a big upset in the World Wrestling Federation.
Bear hug again. Oh, excuse me. Talk about unequal pressure in the earlobes. He got it right there. Dynamite with a headbutt right between the eyes. One of his favorite maneuvers. And now they're just exchanging blows right in the center of the ring. Who's going to win this battle? We'll find out in just a moment. Dynamite won. Going to work now on the breadbasket of the big guy. Maybe he found a weak spot. Winds him up here with Irish whip. No, nice reversal. Puts the head down, over the top goes Dynamite, and slips right in behind to a crucifix cradle. Yes, it's coming up, got those shoulders buried, it's over.
Right there, the prime example, speed over strength. The speed, the quickness of the Dynamite Kid finally did in the Moondog, and it very fashionable indeed.
That was exciting. Let's get the official word.
And the winner, the Dynamite Kid.
And maybe a little bit extra something in the lunch pail for Matilda. As on to victory, the Dynamite Kid here in the Summit in Houston. And the big Moondoggy not too happy about it at all. Let's go back if we can and take a look at the video replay of the nice, fantastic move put on here by the Dynamite Kid. Go ahead, Kenny.
Very alertly played a quick game of leapfrog. Ducked right under, came up behind him into that back crucifix, and finally was able to just take him down. Rolled him right over. Referee Dave Hebner counts to 2, counts to 3, and you can turn the lights out for the Moondog. Chalk another one up in the victory column for the Dynamite Kid, one half of the World Tag Team Champions, the British Bulldogs.
Fantastic action from the Summit here in Houston. We'll be back.
Wow, Matilda is something else as well as the Dynamite Kid. And
Well, I
Davey
can't tell them apart. The Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy Smith, and Matilda.
Easy to tell apart. They're easy to tell apart.
I guess you'd have to see who's wearing the flea collar today, huh?
Yeah,
Tell them apart.
That's not exactly true.
Now, what do you have on? Is that skunk?
No, this is plucked weasel. Didn't you notice that earlier on? This
Plucked weasel.
plucked weasel.
That's
yes.
funny, Monsoon.
Well, it wasn't easy to get either.
They're not easy to get. I imagine you stick a tail on this thing. Now you're wearing a tail and a hat.
Are we definitely going to have a guest this week?
Oh, yes. Miss Betty assured me he will be here.
Well,
extra security is being brought in because the women flock to this man. They want to touch him. They want to talk with him. They want to go out with him, as they do myself and Orndorff and everybody else in the Bobby Heenan family,
come
Bundy.
on, give
now,
me a break.
oh, there's plenty of difference. It's just a slap on my face. That's what you're trying to do and everybody else out there.
Listen, if you want to speak to our award-winning director, Kerwood Surfleet, just tell him and we'll get him on the phone.
Well, then get him on the phone. There's a 1-hour show. I've got things to do. I have a singing act set up here coming out. Yes, I have jugglers. I have a lot of things set up out here. And I also have my most important guest coming out here very, very shortly. I understand he's in the neighborhood right now. But let's go to our feature match. Bret the Hitman Hart against Raymond Rougeau. Get the security out back now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing on my right, from Montreal, Canada, weighing 242 pounds, Raymond Rougeau. And on my left, from Calgary, Canada, weighing 250 pounds, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Bret the Hitman Hart and Raymond Rougeau, classic confrontation here in the Summit in Houston. Gorilla Monsoon at ringside with Ken Resnick. This is going to be a classic, Ken.
This one should be a great matchup, Gorilla. Both the Hart Foundation and, of course, the Rougeau brothers, who are just seemingly taking the World Wrestling Federation by storm in very close pursuit of the British Bulldogs. Both teams wanting a shot at the Tag Team Champions. And I would imagine here, both Bret the Hitman and Raymond Rougeau will, at the same time they're wrestling, be doing a little mental scouting, because there's no question that sooner or later the Rougeau brothers and the Hart Foundation will collide.
Well, they're right now within the top 5 in contention for the coveted World Wrestling Federation Tag Team title. And of course, the Hitman, a master of execution in my book, he does everything with a great deal of excellence. And as far as the maneuvers that he does, the way that he applies the holds. And I'm surprised and maybe a little bit shocked that the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, is not in attendance.
At least not visibly so, and of course you have to wonder where Jim the Anvil is.
If he was around, you'd be hear him. If he wasn't visibly, it'd be verbally that you could hear the Mouth of the South anywhere in this entire huge, fantastic facility, the Summit here in Houston.
Point very well taken. That's one thing, Gorilla, sometimes you and I don't always agree with the style of the Hart Foundation, but as you said, Bret the Hitman Hart is one of the best wrestling tacticians in the business today, although his scientific and amateur background, sometimes you have to dig down very deep to find.
Absolutely true. I would put him almost in the same category as the ace, Cowboy Bob Orton. A real mechanic inside that ring. Got that 1950s look to him, too.
I think he have to wonder when the last time he washed his hair.
Well,
or perhaps what he used to wash it.
Oh, look at that. Tremendous power shown us here by Rougeau. One half of the fantastic Rougeau-brother combination. And did you happen to see, Kenny, on national television that special piece of footage from the St. Lawrence Seaway, which they were water skiing on there right amongst those big freighters? That was unreal for me.
Well, I'll tell you, talk about two great athletes. Not only were they playing tag with those freighters, but let's face it, the water in the St. Lawrence Seaway is not the warmest of all time.
No, absolutely not. You never know what you're going to find in there as well. Oh, look at the hitman complaining about a hair pull. That's twice now he's done that. And the referee is getting on the case of Raymond. Now he wants the victory. Highly unlikely that way.
Bret Hart has never been known to be very shy about complaining when he feels he's been wrong.
No, absolutely. He might have learned that from his dad. Stu Hart, one of the legendary figures. Look at this, drop down by Raymond over the top quickly, and there's a smart move by the hitman.
I think Raymond may have been a little too anxious to deliver that haymaker, telegraphed it, and Bret Hart was just close enough to the rope so he could grab hold and say, no, thank you.
Put the brakes on in a hurry. You can bet the anvil is lurking around somewhere, Ken. Not far away from the ring. If he is indeed in attendance.
Raymond Rougeau about ready to go right out after Bret the Hitman Hart.
The Mecca, becoming a Mecca very rapidly here in the world of professional wrestling, the Summit here in Houston.
What a beautiful, beautiful facility and a beautiful city as well.
Oh, tremendous.
Did you have the same opportunity I did today to partake of a little of this Texas sunshine?
I didn't have that luxury that you had today, Ken, laying by the pool.
Bret the Hitman Hart going to work on Raymond Rougeau. Perhaps it was a little psychological mind game as Bret Hart stayed outside the rings and just irritated Raymond Rougeau. Front atomic drop, and that almost grew a bit more painful than the standardized one, but you have to be a great technician to put your opponent in that position to deliver it that way.
Well, it's absolutely true. You have to be a great technician to do that. However, that move is really borderline of being an automatic disqualification in my book. Obviously not in the book of the referee. But that inverted atomic drop is a dangerous and very, very painful procedure to go through. And Raymond right now on the receiving end, the guy who really knows how to dish it out, the hitman, Bret Hart.
One of the best in the business.
Winding him up here, Irish whip in, look out. That's one right in the lower abdomen.
He seems to be strategy-wise going after that midsection, the breadbasket, trying to weaken him as much as he can.
I don't know of a weak point on the hitman. No, I really don't.
None that I have seen in the many times I've seen him wrestle.
Physically, I don't believe he has any. Mentally, I believe he has a few.
Wow, talk about your seesaw battles. Great one in the Summit. You know, that's...
Well, that is another thing I want to talk to you about, the Summit. Why wasn't I asked to be out there and host the thing?
I asked for Ken Resnick. You weren't available.
We'll be back after these messages. I'll get to the bottom of this. Well, good news, everybody. My guest has arrived. Wait a minute. My guest is here. My guest.
No kidding.
Which camera am I on? Why can't we use one camera?
Let's go back to the Summit.
We don't need three cameras.
I don't believe he thinks far enough ahead and to be ultra successful in the world of professional sports.
We've talked about it. Your great wrestlers, they treat professional wrestling as a chess match. They might be doing one thing, but they are thinking 2, 3, 4, and the really great ones 5 moves ahead. And sometimes the shortcoming of some wrestlers, and perhaps with Bret the Hitman Hart, is that they act not so well. They react very well. They let their opponent sometimes dictate the style of the match and the tempo of the match rather than taking, as you say, the bull by the horns and trying to do it themselves.
Good point indeed. However, Bret, I'm sure, more comfortable in tag team competition. Raymond thrown out on the floor and the hitman right out after him. What's he trying to do to him here? Oh, right in the lower abdomen and plants another one. And the object is to pin the guy inside the ring. I'll throw him out onto the floor. But to me, you're not going to beat anybody out there.
I think what he may be hoping is, you could see here at the summit, there is no padding around the ring. He's coming right down on the concrete floor. And it's very possible when you sail out of that ropes, you're taking a fall on the concrete from 8 to 12 feet. And a fall you're not prepared for. Many times you can injure yourself.
High sunset from over the top from the outside by Ramon, but only a 2 count as the Hitman planted the calf muscle right between the eyes of Ramon. Nice move from the outside, but just wasn't enough to put the guy away.
Well, that to me looked like it was right to the throat.
Yeah, it was. To the untrained eye, it seemed that way, Ken. And it really was that way. I'm speaking, of course, of Bobby the Brain Heenan, who I call the fountain of misinformation. He can be looking dead at something straight on and call it completely opposite.
Has that tunnel vision. Very small tunnel at times.
Hitman with a headbutt. One of his fortes. Another big right hand. This has become a slugfest now.
I think the rule book is right out the window. You get to a point, I'm sure, when you throw your style out, if you say to yourself, okay, if that's the way you want to go, this is the way we'll go. And Ramon Rougeau is evidently doing just that.
He certainly can do it. He can do it any way you want to do it. You want to do it pure 6-style brawl, he's ready to go that route. If you want scientific wrestling, he's ready to do that.
To the best of my knowledge, the Rougeau brothers, as the tag team gorilla, are still undefeated here in the World Wrestling Federation.
Absolutely fact. Oh, nice clothesline. Reverse knife edge by Ramon sends the Hitman down to the canvas. Could be the beginning of the end here. Oh, mule kick, how I used to hate those. Devastating maneuver. Got the legs. He might wrap him up here with a nice forward roll. No. Oh, over for the cover. He likes to do that off the turnbuckle. Wasn't enough to get the Hitman.
Yeah, this is one match, Gorilla. The momentum has swung back and forth a good dozen times. Oh, did he hit him square?
Brought him nice with a drop kick. One underneath the chin and one in the sternum, but didn't reach back to hook a leg or anything to try to hold a Hitman down. You're not going to beat Bret Hart that way. I'm sorry. He's just too good a wrestler. Reversal now as Ramon goes in. Oh, went for a power slam and got scooped up right from behind. Nice roll up sunset. Oh, look at that. He pulled down the tights, put himself in a compromising position. Oh, I can't believe it.
Well, Gorilla, we couldn't see it from our vantage point, but it certainly looked to me like Bret the Hitman Hart had both hands full of Ramon Rougeau's trunks.
I'm sure that on the replay we will in fact see that that is the case, and he really did get a handful of tights.
The winner, Bret Hitman Hart.
But nevertheless goes down in the record books, Bret the Hitman Hart with a victory over Ramon Rougeau, and a most impressive win in the books. In the books it won't say how he did it, only that he did it. Let's go back and take a look if we can. Here it comes right here. Ramon had the upper hand, but then things went awry.
Bret the Hitman reversed it very nicely. Great move by Ramon, leaped right over him. Great victory roll. There you see
look
him.
at that right there.
And
He
now
still got it.
He still held on. But you can't really fault the referee there, Gorilla. He had to watch Ramon Rougeau's shoulders in the position
were down.
they were in. That's the only thing he could look for.
Hitman on to victory in the Summit.
Well, just goes to prove
Super.
that even in the Summit, miscarriage of justice will occur. What are you happy about?
My
now?
guest has arrived.
Oh, great. We're gonna see him obviously then.
Right.
Or her.
No,
whatever.
it's a him. It's a him.
It's a him. Okay.
Oh, is it ever?
Do you want to give us a clue?
Let's put it this way. No, not yet.
No clue.
Not yet. But, oh, go ahead. You do something.
Wrestling fans will be right back with a guest in just a moment. Right back.
I am on one knee, and it can only mean one thing.
Oh, please.
My guest, right here, the king of wrestling.
Why aren't you off your backside, Gorilla?
For what? For you?
That's right, for
Give me
the
a
king.
break.
What's wrong?
You wanna be
Has
a
it
guest?
been too long out of the tights?
Sit down,
that you
King.
cannot get up anymore?
I can get up and down when I want to. Come on, sit down,
Why is my doll not out here?
King. You don't have one.
Why don't I? I'm Lord and Master of everything that you see right there.
You're not Lord and Master of Prime Time Wrestling. I got news for you.
Mention the pumpkin. What he did to you last week?
Oh, yes.
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 Why don't you sit down
Thank
here and
you
join
for
us?
reminding me.
mention
I don't want to sit down,
Oh,
Gorilla.
okay. Well, why-
I don't want to sit down because I want to be prepared to start taking a body apart.
Who, him?
You,
Me?
Mr. Gorilla, you want to come out here and make fun of the king? You want to start carving pumpkins? Well, I got a great big pumpkin to start carving. And I can get your hands off of
Oh,
my
and he also
gal.
made reference that this was stolen merchandise. You and Blasty lifted it from some show.
Stolen merchandise?
Yes, that's what he made the assumption that you went
Are
to.
you kidding? I said
Said
get your
right there.
hands off of my...
Property Department, Rialto Theater, 42nd
No,
and
it
8th
doesn't say that. It says who
don't
made
start
it.
with the garbage, Gorilla. You know, and I
Give me a
know
break.
that this is the king of all wrestling, and I'm here on this ridiculous show.
The two of you guys
showing
together
this
couldn't get
man
locked up.
respect.
To what?
You couldn't get locked up, the two of you together.
Well, then you finish this show, pal. You run it.
What, do you think it'd be the first time?
Well, no, it may not be the last.
It may be the last time for you. Take that Imperial spread guy with you, too.